Happy Friday and welcome to a Trinity Family 5-Minute Friday. I'm Andrew and this is Bree Weens and we are a Trinity family.
We're on our series Building Foundations, where we look at the truths about men and women in this 21st century and how that's changed from the past and what that allows us to do with those changes. Yeah. And so this week we're looking at bringing home the bacon and how providing for our families has changed, because a huge percentage of the population, more than ever before, is able to focus on beyond survival in their money, in time, and in energy.
And our mission here at Trinity Family is to give you the vision and tools you need to make the most of your moments and to seize the days you have to influence children. And the reality is, when we have these kids at home, as parents, we call it the second generation, that is our time to influence, to make the most of those moments. And we get all the time going to the grocery store, out and about. You know, we've got 5 kids, they're young, we're pushing our cart around, and all of a sudden there's this couple, this older couple usually, you know, they're in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and they just stop and they just stare. You know, you can see them reminiscing, and they stop and say, "Oh, your family's so beautiful. You know, we missed a lot during those days, and you make sure you don't miss it. You know, enjoy these kids. It's going to go so fast." And you know, their heart cry is, "Ugh, don't miss these moments." And what we're recognizing is that we have an opportunity that even they didn't, that certainly people hundreds of years ago didn't, to grab a hold of those moments more fully. And so we want to just give some vision for what can generations look like in the 21st century. Well, specifically what we call the second generation.
Which is the parents, the one who are directly involved with the children in their homes.
And the reason is we're living longer. We have a generation currently that's in that second generation kind of time frame that's coming to their work and saying, you know, like, I really want meaningful work. I want deep connections. I'm not as burdened or concerned about getting huge paycheck or working long hours. And obviously there are people that are in that place, but
not that that is bad.
No, but that there's a place to ask ourselves, how are we taking the gifts that other generations have given us to invest in our home and provide with our time and our energy there, rather than making money in ways that other generations just weren't able to do.
And I think that's taking the why in the workplace is really great, and we want to take that same why into our families. And how are we investing our time? How are we investing our money? How are we investing our energy? That we don't have to be focused so heavily on survival. So how are we focusing those energies, and how can we do that better to bring in that connection and to bring in that guidance and unity and vision and purpose together as a unit?
Yeah. And so really we just want to challenge, here's our tool for this week, is for you to look at your own family line and to think back as far as you can. Do some research, talk to people and ask them what they know. Talk to your parents, you know, your grandparents, whoever is still around, and get their stories, get the stories of those even before, and look at what their life looked like as parents. What were the sacrifices that they made? What were the gains that each of those generations gained in provision for their families? And reimagine from that, where are you? What can you provide that's new? And
what are the sacrifices you can make to give them something that hasn't been able to be given before?
Yeah. And it might very well be something that they didn't sacrifice. You know, a lot of those families, they sacrificed the time that they wanted to be at home because they needed to make that extra money. They needed to do that to get the bread on the table, to do whatever. And a lot of us, that's not the case. Our sacrifices, a lot of times, are going to look the opposite. How can we potentially sacrifice to put off something that we would like to do in the workplace another 20 years so that we can get these years with our kids, and we can do it for them because they did what they did for us?
So really dive into that history, or if you don't have somebody to talk to, dive into other people's histories.
Yep.
And I think diving into history will free us and expand our vision for where we can go with our families in the future.
Yeah. So go whichever generation you're at, but we're specifically go second generation. Go get them. Provide for your family. Seize those moments, and make the most of them. So enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Friday. Bye.
Bye.